Hello everyone. For today's tutorial, I just want to share with you on how I manage to create a worksheet in my class and create a worksheet for students and even a quiz using the Google Classroom. So I hope you will learn something today. Especially if you're an educator and you want to, send some works to your students. So I just want to share with you on how did I manage it. In dealing or communicating with your students. So there are some steps that I have to tell you, and you can learn from this. All right, the first step you have to do is basically you have to select to which classroom you want to assign. So first, of course, sign into your Google Classroom. You should have at least a Gmail account because that's really important, and assuming that you already have some list of students on each of the class that you have. So if you look at my screen right now, I have several classrooms already for different students, different sets of students, and I also have one. It's called Try. So this particular classroom is actually basically no one here. It is where I'll make first and see how the thing works, and later I will just make it on the correct classrooms that I have. So the first step is that you will go to the classwork. So click this one here, and you can see a lot of trials that I have done. So what you will do is go to create. So there are several options you can choose from here. When I give like material only, I'll just click it here. When I just ask questions, it's here. But oftentimes when I give them works to do, I always go with the quiz assignment, especially if I have to go with this setup where I can have the worksheets like this way. So how to do it? So first you have to go to the quiz assignment, click this one here, and you'll be prompted with this. So you can have would say a title here, so you would say worksheet. So it's gonna be your preference what it will be. Please do not forget to submit. All right, there you go. So this is not really the most important part. In here you can also assign how many points you want. Example, 10 points only. When it will be due, so probably you would say I want it that after 2 days it will be it will be with us. It will be considered as late once you submitted it after that. So still students can answer, but it will display as late. So in here, when until what time, and if you have certain topics already, so you can just choose it here. All right, so the most important thing is this, the blank quiz. So when you click this one here, this particular interface will appear where you can now start your making questions here. So you would say, again, let me just repeat the word. I would say worksheet. All right, so answer the following, I would say. All right, now here you can start the questions. So you would say what is today's date? All right, there you have it. So now you can have it here where you can see the computer recognizes what type of questions you have, and they can just answer it here. So leave it like now. So we want to be a multiple question, so you can click this one here where you can have several options. So you would say May 9, May 10, May 8. All right, example only. So that's the thing. So now you can have several options. You can choose here what questions you want. So if you want directly will be answered by the computer, so you just have to go to the answer key here, and you can just choose whatever answer you think it is. Just simply write the point on how many points it will be, and you click done. And then if you want the students that they will not skip the question, just go to required. So they cannot skip this one, they have to answer it before no matter what. Okay, so then add question. So this is just a little hint that I can offer with you when you're doing a worksheet like this one here. Oftentimes students are using their email. They're using their email, and sometimes it's really hard to distinguish that email belongs to who. So I always do like this. So I always have a field, it's called writing their information. So okay, I would say write your name, grade, and ID number. All right, Now in this way, I'll make sure that I can know that students who is answering this particular question itself. So make sure that it is a required field. Make it a short answer, long answer, or paragraph, doesn't matter at all. You can skip that one by not putting any mark, it's okay. So it's not a big deal. The important thing, it is a required field. So the students cannot submit their work without giving an answer into it. Alright, and you can add several more questions where you can even add an image question into it. So just to skip the thing here, and the best thing about it is this one. Example, identify the device. Alright. Alright, so now the best thing about this is instead is you don't have to keep on collecting pictures, because you can just click this one here and then you can just go to Google Image. So you would say, I would say barcode. Sorry for that. Alright. Now see, you can just simply click this one right now and insert, and the image will just pumped in the screen like that one, and you would say barcode. Okay, wait. Alright, QR code, MIC. Alright, or MIC, magnetic character. So like that one then. So that's it. So if you want to change the options into different way, maybe you would say drop down. You can do like that also. So the students will just have this way of answering. We'll see the questions, so we will choose our answer. So our answer would be barcode. Okay, then click make it 1 point also. Done. There you have it. Then make it a required field. There you go. So now while you're working with it, you can actually also see here the preview. Click this one here, where you can see also how the questions will look like. So it's like this. You see, there's a red star here. All right. So meaning this means this particular questions they have to answer this one here. So all questions are required with the red one here. So they have no choice, but they have to answer. So choose. Then you can select this drop down way. This is the paragraphed way where they can make an answer. This multiple choice. So that's exactly how it looks like. Now there are a few things that is very important while doing this one here. Click this one here, the settings. I always do this. There are several ways where you can do things actually, but this is just based on how I do it. So it's gonna be your way. I just want to explain how these things works. So here I always make it limit to 1 response and requiring the students to sign in, because I want to make sure that I will know their email address and who's doing it. Okay, this one here, if you wanted to, is because I want, example like this one, I want the students to see their answers on their email as well after they submitted their work. So if respondent requested, automatically send it, or make it always. It's your choice. Okay, so if you want the students to have a copy of their answers, submit that one and can see the summary. So I don't need actually this particular thing here on the presentations, how it will look like. So I always just click this one, shuffle the questions, so that to minimize, not exactly to get rid of cheating or copying of answer. That's why it's not really advisable for exam. It will be randomized on their screen. So maybe one is answering the first question, the other one is answering the third question at the same time. So meaning they don't have the same questions at the same time. Alright, and you can customize your message to confirm. Alright, in here the most important thing is the quiz part. In here, make it a quiz. Okay, so in here, if you want to make it a quiz, they can see their answers later on if they are correct or right. Submissions can see their answers if you wanted to, or make it later if you wanted that you will be the one to give the marks later on for them. I always do this actually because I want the students to feel like how much they got after the exam. All right, so I always click this one here. So but if your questions are mostly or mainly about explanations or discussions, so I suggest to do this one here, or else students will get frustrated. Seeing their marks will be very low, because there's no way that the computer will give us the answers, especially when it is descriptive type question. So it has to be checked manually. So let's proceed now on how to and then just simply save that particular thing. Save this one here, whatever you have done, or here's the worksheet you have. Click this one here, and you can just actually change how it will look like, the interfaces, if you wanted to put some screen into it or different headers, and when they try to answer, different looks, because it will it will be here just to show you. All right, so the top one will be the email. Now here's the thing. All right, that's the thing. So here's the informations. So just close this one. You have to leave, it doesn't matter at all. You don't have to answer that. And here you can even close this one as well. So it doesn't matter at all. Just go back to your worksheet here. So it's still called blank quiz, but it's no longer blank because we already changed it into worksheet. So it's here. So you can just rename it here if you wanted to as well, but I will just keep it for now like that way. And then once it's ready, you can just simply assign, or you can make it into schedule. Schedule meaning if you don't want it to be assigned directly to the example, you want to show it tomorrow to them, so you can just simply choose the day tomorrow, Sunday. All right, and what time you want them to see to activate that one, so that they will be notified in their on their mobile phone that there's a schedule assignment that they have to do, and then just make a schedule. So it's your choice like that way. So I make it tomorrow for the sake no one will know this, because this is just a trial from my other account. Now let's jump to one of my class which I assigned already. So let me go to classes here. It's here already. All right, now given a chance, the students already answered the questions, and you know the submissions already done. You know, the students has to you want to see their works, in other words. So what you will do is choose the grade level where you assigned it. So, and then what you will do, go to the classwork, where you can find all the works that you have given to them under submissions as well. So but don't click anything here, instead go to the class drive folder. All right, where you can see all the responses from the students here. So what you will do, go to the areas where for the homework. So I remember this is the one I gave to them, revision. So this is the thing. So la revision chapter 1 to 4. So here's the best thing you can find here. You can actually look at the thing right now. These are the questions, but these are the responses from the students. So 97 answered already. So let's go to the responses and see the thing. This is the good thing. There's a summary. Right, where you can see where the students are struggling and what most students are getting. So out of these 97 responses, most of my students were able to answer the questions, this one here. All right, so out of that, if you look at the trend, it's so good, the result is so good that you're able to answer most of the questions. So the good thing about it. So that's the score. These are the named students, and see, you can also see this the informations where you can find, if given a chance, you know, like most students are making it wrong, so you can revise with them exactly what questions they are struggling. All right, so this is the question number and what question. So in the next meeting you will have with them, you can discuss with them why some are answering the wrong, why they choose that, why not this particular thing. So you can discuss with them. This is the best thing, which you cannot have that one on the paper base. It's gonna be so hard if you do in the paper base, because you have to, you know, you have to tally everything. But here, this is the good thing about Google Classroom. All right, so let's go back above. Now this is one thing that I want. So another thing, you can click individual, where you can see the response of students individually. So here's the thing. All right, so I have one student, 1 out of 97. So this is just like normal checking on the paper, but it's gonna be electronic way of checking. So you can see all the responses of students, and here, so he made it wrong, made it right here. So this is a way of checking, just like you're having a, you know, a hard copy of the worksheet where you are seeing the students work, but instead of checking it individually, you are allowing the computer to check it for you. All right, so but if you scroll down more here, I have some questions where students didn't even answer this question. This is a good answer, AA. All right, so if you look, these questions cannot be corrected by computer directly, because this is a descriptive questions. Explain why computers are unable to read data directly from the sensors. All right, so the thing, that particular thing is a little bit off for the computer to answer it individually, or to have the correct answer for that this way. But if I want to be, you know, to be more precise while checking, I always go with questions. All right, now I will explain to you the difference. In here you are seeing the name of students while checking, because you are requiring them to write down. Okay, but in here, this is the best thing, you are actually not seeing the student's name. You can only see the responses and the mistakes of the students, where this is a good thing. If I'll go to the question number 20, look at here. All right, so when I press enter, here's the question. Describe the differences between a 1 and a LAN. So see, if you look at here, I have all the answers of students without seeing who's is that student. So this is a good thing to check papers, because you are, I would say, unbiased. But in here, in this particular perspective, where you cannot see the name of students while giving the marks of student, it's very good. I'm pretty sure you will be precise in answering the questions or giving marks for the students in here. So abbreviated from local network or something like that. So here, and then you can have the marks here. And even if you feel like there's a wrong in the answer and you want to correct the students, just can add feedback, where you can insert the feedback to the students why he answered that one, or it should be like this, it should be like that, which is very unique. All right. So that's how it is. That's how it is. And then once you have done everything, once you have done all of it, once you have corrected manually the questions they have, you can just simply release the score, where students will be notified again for their corrected marks or for their new marks, because you have corrected those descriptive type questions. All right, I hope you have learned something today, and I really love to hear from you if there are some things that I missed here, if there's something that needs to be added. This is just the way I do it, and I am learning as well, but I just want to share with you. We're educators, and we are here to, to help others. Okay, so I may need help, I may also need help, but this time I've learned something, so I'm sharing it with you. Thank you, and have a good day, everyone.